All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final of Masterplay 2024. We have Kerry versus Mr. Lam Nguyen.
Yes.
All right. Kerry is currently representing Chainsaw Man, and Mr. Lam Nguyen is playing Tensei Slime.
All right. Let's see Kerry's hand. It's dropping 3.
Interesting. Mr. Lam Nguyen is dropping 4. Of course, both these decks are playing heavy level 0, so they do need to find as much level 0 for their early game as possible to generate as much advantage as they can to hopefully stabilize and dodge the returning damage from the opposing player.
Alright, so Kerry clocks the level 3 Archeep, which is on the restricted list, unfortunately. Run from 4 to now 2. It opens up with the Makima Riki.
Mr. Lam Nguyen cancel with the climax for his level 0. Alright.
Makima has 2 effects. One is an alarm, which is at the start of his Kerry's climax phase, he can choose one of his characters to gain the ability to look at the top 2 cards of his deck and rearrange it in any order that he prefers.
Alright, so Lam blocked the Milim that lets him stock charge when on play from hand, but instead he can actually manage to find 2 of the Milim runners who are actually 3,500 on both players' turn that can run 2 characters. This is a very strong opening for Mr. Lam Nguyen. Oh, he now decided to drop the Troll deck Rimuru, which also let him reveal the top of his deck and add it to his hand and discard 1 card. It also has an ability that allows him to discard a climax to salvage a card as well.
Kerry takes 1 damage, 2 sticks again, and cancels on the 3rd swing. It is unfortunate for Kerry that 1 easy revenge is stuck in his clock right now. Ideally, you do not want any to be stuck. Flops the other finisher, and surprisingly enough, pulls a CX. But he's also opens up with the Makima next to pay 1, block a character from his waiting room to the bottom of his clock to search for a level 1 or lower character. Interesting. Chooses to search for the level 0 Kishibe, which on play has 2 effects. He can resolve them in any order. First one is to send the top 3 cards of his deck into the waiting room, and the second effect allows him to discard a climax to salvage a character.
So now Mr. Kerry's checking Lam's support because those Milims are very big currently. So he's trying to figure a way how to address the problem on the current board state.
Chooses to resolve the sending the top 3 cards of his deck first, and resolving the second effect of discarding a climax to salvage any character in his waiting room. Plays the 0/0 combo and a level 0 power, which on attack you can send any of your characters to stock. Right, Kerry decides to play the level 0 combo, Secret Alliance, which allows him to stock a level 1 or lower character. And the effect is to send the climax to the waiting room and look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. You can add up to 2 easy revenges or 2 characters, or a combination of 1 of each.
And cancel the first damage. Alright. And the 2 damage connect to Mr. Lam. And cancel the 2 damage again. So it was an interesting turn for Kerry because he managed to generate a lot of resources, but however, he still failed to address the problem on the current board state where the 2 Milim is basically giving Lam a very clear board dominance. Now Mr. Lam's debating what to do for his turn. He's now playing the Rimuru on play, pay 1, take a damage. Pay 1. Pull a card from top card of your deck to clock and search for a level 1 or lower. It also has an additional ability which allows me to discard a card and return a character from a level 0 character from the opposing player field back to their hand.
Very, very strong considering that a Kerry's board right now is only filled with level 0. And his main stock generating combination is also a level 0.
Now Mr. Lamb plays the blue brainstorm that lets him mill 4. For every climax he sent to waiting room, he lets him search his deck. Now he will play the Rimuru level 0 that has to interact with the current climax he's playing on his board. So that level 0 Rimuru at the end of the battle lets him mill X number of cards from his top of his deck to waiting room, and then salvage a character equal to the level of the number of Demon Continent character he mills from the level 0 ability. Alright, so for this turn, Mr. Nguyen was being very aggressive, managed to push Kerry to level 1 at 5 points of damage, which puts this, from the look of it, puts Kerry in a very uncomfortable position because now he's almost at level 2 and Lamb is still currently at level 0.
It's also worth noting that another Easy Revenge is stuck in his clock, which is very, very unfortunate because this entire deck revolves around this event and being able to resolve it. And it being stuck in your clock is never a good idea because you can never fetch it from the waiting room. It's always easier to fetch it from the deck. Kerry's just taking a moment to assess the waiting room. Plays the Kobeni, which has a Rigo effect, which is to discard a card and to reveal the top card of your deck and salvage a character equal to the level of the revealed card. It is quite unfortunate that Kerry reveals a Easy Revenge. A play right now for him would be to grab the 0/0 Samurai Sword, if he has it, and it appears he does not, which is also unfortunate. Let's see what Kerry decides to do. Opt for the 0/0 power.
So from the look of Kerry's strategy, he's probably going to sacrifice his board to generate more additional stock so that he can hopefully use it to dig out the Easy Revenge from his clock and from his top of his deck.
Plays a 1/0 Himeno, which is during your turn, if all of your other characters are Devil Hunter or Devil, she gets plus 2k, and when she reverses a battle opponent, she gets to you have to pay 1 stock, ditch 1 card from your hand, and rest 1 of your characters to salvage 2.
The luckily thing for Kerry in this situation is that the level 0 Brainstorm Climax combo does allow him to grab the Easy Revenge, which will help assist him next turn. Now,
That's
Mr. Lamb Nguyen took the 2 damage from the hit, now levels up to level 1. He chooses the clock level blue character.
Alright, the 2/6. And now for 2 damage, which sticks again. So he's resolving the Himeno effect, which we were talking about earlier. Pay 1, ditch 1, rest 1 to salvage 2. Let's see who he chooses to salvage with his current deck state. Levels. Okay.
The Makima is a very interesting choice because that Makima does allow Kerry to search his deck and stock charge for him as well.
Yep. It's worth noting that while it says you may look it up to 2 and add 1 to hand, and then rather is that you can choose not to add any to your hand and add both to your stock instead, which allows you to basically just either gain 2 stock for free or it's more filtering and more selectivity for Kerry at this stage in the game, which is what he desperately needs.
That being said, Kerry is a little bit behind on damage. However, he has cycled through a large proportion of his deck and has generated a sizable amount of resources to use for next turn. Now, it is going back to Mr. Lamb's Nguyen's turn. He is in a very favorable position because he has almost a full board and very little on Kerry board can contest his board currently. He also has one of the important key pieces of the deck, which is the blue Muran Brainstorm, which lets him set up his level 2 play. However, here's a slight disadvantage with not having that much stock available to him to use for the turn.
Yep. So Tom, what are your thoughts? This 8 pants compared to what we've seen other people playing of the standby pants.
So,
why do you think he chose to run this 8 pants instead of the standby?
Well, I think it's a very logical choice. I think after the restriction list that happened to Slime, because basically when you look at the both deck, they are the strategy are mirroring each other because they're both just trying to aggressively push damage and generate as much resources as they can at level 0 and level 1. So a lot of time a lot of people just figure to themselves like, why do I need a level 1 combo when I can just do it at the start of the game?
Yep. Okay.
So you're not being held back by not being able to level up to go to level 1 early or drawing your key pieces in mid game.
That's true. All right.
The Rimuru is a very interesting choice because it does allow Lamb to decompress his deck. So both players are almost about to refresh their deck now. Kerry has only 4 cards left in his deck. Lamb has currently 6 cards in his deck. But also don't forget, the Rimuru can choose how many cards he mills to waiting room as well. So he can play the climax and get it back to his waiting room.
Yeah,
so now Lamb is basically determining what he wants to do because from the look of the situation, he most likely will opt just to push the Rimuru up into the front row position and play the climax, and basically most likely will side attack the Himino and basically swing the rest into Kerry's board and clear it out. But whether leaving that Himino alive for this turn, would that be a good choice for Mr. Lamb? Because that Himino does allow Kerry to continuously readjust his hand.
Oh, no, I think it's only on during the turn that it's played.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, that's fine. So yeah, but leaving a character on board is always never a good idea, because it just gives your opponent, that extra avenue to create.
This is an interesting choice now from Lamb because he's playing Veladora. Now the Veladora has a very interesting ability where it allows him to pay 1, discard a card from his hand to salvage a character, which allows him to basically get rid of the extra climax he just drew for the turn. Oh, now he's getting the Shauna, so now that's the last piece of the combo he needs. So the level 2 Shauna allows Lamb to give protection to his board, at the same time powering them up as well, along with the the Neuron level 0.
Ooh, unfortunate for Kerry, yet another easy revenge.
Yeah. So, besides the front attack,
Cancels.
so both of them will crash and trade off.
Kerry is refreshing with what appears to be 8 climaxes back. The good thing to note about Chainsaw Man is that you would theoretically, you almost always go back with a full deck of climax if you are able to pay it out. And unfortunate penalties, the climax.
That is a very rough turn for Kerry because he took essentially 7 points of damage, which is pretty much a level this turn, and now Lamb is in a very advantageous position now because even though he has 3 cards left in his deck, he basically managed to put back all the climax he had stuck in his hand originally.
Yeah. Looking at Kerry's hand, it looks pretty set, but he is missing the easy revenge, which he is going to play now. Mills 2. He's able to salvage a level 3 or lower character. Chooses to take the climax swapper, place the second easy revenge.
So he had a sneaky little easy revenge in his hand all along.
He did. Kept the cards close to him, as he reviewed. Now he mills a total of 6. He's able to salvage a level 6. Chooses to salvage the level 1 Himino. Oh, plays the Archie, which if you have 2 or more easy revenges in your memory, it loses a level. And on play, you get to heal the top card of your clock into the waiting room. Plays the 0/0 Himeno, which has 2 effects. The first one, which he has just resolved, is to pay 1, send a standing character to your memory, search your deck for a level 2 or higher card or character.
But bear in mind, the Himeno ability only triggers if you're at level 2.
Yeah. So having played with Kerry, he is a fan of just spamming out these early play healers as much as possible. The moment he hits level 2, he usually likes to heal down as much as he can. Plays another Kobani. Hits a level 3.
that actually opens up a lot of plays for Kerry right now because he has quite a lot of options in his drop zone right now.
Chooses to take the 0-0 Makima climax swap.
No, it's basically it's a brainstorm that on play you may sacrifice a character.
Oh, sorry. He took this one.
Oh, yes.
He this one as well.
No, I'm just saying the cap from the brainstorm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm commenting on.
All right.
Because normally you have to pay stock to use a brainstorm ability.
Yep.
However, that Makima will allow you to use your brainstorm by sacrificing another character in the field.
It's good.
And now since Kerry found his stock swap again, he now allow him to search for his level 0 climax combo again, which will now hopefully regain him back the momentum he lost initially from Mr. Lamb sticking a level to him.
Yep. It's important to note that Chainsaw Man runs a plethora of different ways to fetch out your CX, and that one is a interesting one because most climax swaps require you to have your climax in your bin in order for you to salvage it. But this one allows you to search your deck. But it's also important to know that if you don't keep track of your climaxes, you end up just whiffing for the climax that you actually need. He salvages out the swinging 4 damage, he cancels. So the Archie. Oh, huge! Gets the plus on the second. Oh. Alright, this is not looking good for Kerry.
Yes, but at the same time, you have to bear in mind, if Lamb doesn't go to level 2, he can't actually contest Kerry's board at all, besides the one level 0 climax swapper.
Oh, refresh. Ooh. So it's important to note that the Archie, whenever he reverses a battle opponent, it is a mandatory effect for you to review the top card of your deck. And chooses to swing. Which sticks.
Alright, so at this point, Kerry has regained some momentum. However, it's still a bit unfavorable because it is now going to Mr. Lamb's turn.
And if we're not mistaken, I think Lamb has 2 of the level 2 combos in his
I
head
think
already
he
ready.
does, but whether he has the climax to go along with him or not is maybe a different story.
That is true.
However, I think Kerry's biggest concern right now is the Shuna level 2 that Lamb added to his hand on the previous turn.
Yeah.
So from the look of Lamb's hand, he does not have the climax, so now he has to force himself to try and find that climax. And he did find a climax, however, unfortunately, it is a wrong climax.
Oh, hits it on the brainstorm.
Yes. So Lamb chose to brainstorm. He managed to hit 2 climax for the 2 search. However, he now has to find a way to exchange his climax from his hand for the climax he needed in his waiting room. He's currently digging through his deck for the Benimaru, but doesn't look like he has the Benimaru in his deck. It might be stuck in stock or waiting room.
Gives us 1.
But I think Lamb would then now choose to get Veratora to basically sacrifice himself and another card from his hand to get Benimaru. However, that would be my choice, but Lamb is still contemplating on his second search currently, so he might be looking for something else.
If you're in his shoes, who would you search right now?
So if I was in Lamb's position, if you know that the Benimaru is in waiting room, I would have grabbed the Velatora because that will let him get back his stock swap. However, it is exerting a lot of resource from his hand as well to basically set up his combo. But bear in mind, he is trying to set up a triple Muran turn combo, which will give him back 3 stock and 3 card in his hand.
Yep.
And
yeah.
but that is relying on the fact that the Benimaru has to be in his waiting room. But from the look of Slam's decision making right now, it looks like the Benimaru is not in his waiting room. It is actually maybe in his stock. So now he's choosing to go for the Milim. So Milim has she has an on-play that lets you stock charge a character, a card from your hand to stock, and she also has pay 1, sacrifice herself to look up to top 4 for 1 For memory, it was character or card. It's probably a card for the considering how expensive the cost is. Oh nope, Mr. Lamb has the Benimaru in his hand all along. Alright, now he found his climax. And this is where I think Kerry will face a bit of a problem with the board. Because now Lamb will just play the free Muron. Normally they don't look very threatening by themselves because they only have 5/5 base stat. However, this ability is that as long as you have the brainstorm. So if you have 2 more demon content character on your field, she will get 5,000 power permanently on both players' turn. And now the Shuna level 2 also gives them an additional 1,000 power, and it cannot be targeted by ability as well.
That is huge for Mr. Lamb.
Yes, and also the Shuna also provides another condition for the Muron, brainstorm Muron in the back row that lets it give it. Also makes it another 1,000 power support assist.
That is a big hero right there.
So now, Mr. Lamb board gets constantly a passive 2,000 power buff. Now he decided to choose the card to go to his hand from each of the Muron's ability. So now he will. So from what I can see from Lamb's decision, he chooses to get the memory kick, Benimaru, so that I think toward the defensive turn, so that he can remove Kerry's level 3 permanently, so he can't keep reusing them. And he also found he's looked like he's going to get a Shuna level 3 healer and also the tech Rimuru. So the main reason why a lot of people play this level 1 Rimuru because it allows him to bond to the level 3 Milim that can clock kick characters when she reverses them. Alright,
it begins. Oh, cancel. Cancels again.
Alright, Lamb's getting back another climax.
Oh,
But
wow. That's cool.
fortunately for Kerry, he managed to evade all the attack. However, his board is left in a very sorry state after the battle.
Yeah. And he is going back with 6 climaxes this turn.
Yes.
Well, it could have been 5 if he did not trigger, he
Yeah,
did not
but-
blind stop with the
well,
you know,
Hindsight.
hindsight.
However, the Muron board is something that Kerry has to contest with now, and is a very powerful
Oh,
because those Murons are currently 12,500 power, and they cannot be targeted by ability.
yep. Oh, this is so rough, Kerry.
However, Kerry's still not in that bad of a position because he did draw the climax for his level 0 combo, which allows him to do another aggressive turn. But the main issue is just that the retaliatory attack. It's going to be the one thing Kerry has to basically look at himself like, alright, can I survive the returning swing for the next turn if I push my opponent to level 3?
Yep. Grabs the Kobani. All around amazing card for utility. Gives you information on the top card of your deck. Allows you to filter out your hand as well. Because you can discard any card. Doesn't have to be a character. Whereas some cards are required that you discard a character. It's the level 2. Alright. Grabs the 0/0 Hineno. Brainstorms.
This is a very good play from Kerry right now because he's trying to burn through his deck as fast as possible. So now he'll use the power to sacrifice the Himeno that he just used.
Hits 1. Gets to top 3 at one time. Unlike the level 0 combo, you don't have to discard one card from your hand after you've added with the marking mode.
But bear in mind, you do have to tap it though. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why you don't actually keep that's why you keep the advantage instead of like just filtering your hand.
Yep. Again, his choices of top 3 don't look good right now. Because he chose to discard the gold bar climax for the Kobani effect. Choosing to mill 3 with Kishibe. Hit 3 level 3s.
Now this is just a very awkward position Kerry's in right now because he has 2 climax stuck in his clock, and he's about to reshuffle again. However, fortunately, he can sacrifice his climax to the level 0 climax combo, so at least those will be going back to his deck.
So Kerry's currently out 1, 2, 3 climaxes in his bin, 4 in his hand, 2 in his clock, 6. So 2 cards. Oh, chooses to discard a climax to heal. To grab a character. Wanted to note that that allows you to grab any character from your waiting room. It doesn't have to, it's not level specific. Chooses to play the 0/0 market mode, which allows you to discard 2 traded characters and allows you to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 a hand, 1 a stop.
Oh, very fortunate for Kerry. He drew the climax again.
That is very, very fortunate indeed.
Oh, and he just healed back.
Let's go. Use it again. So Tom, would you say this is relatively stabilized for Kerry right now?
I wouldn't say he's out of the wood just yet, but it is pulling him back in a relatively horrible position that he was originally in to a more manageable position at this point of the game.
All right. It's 1. It's 2. It's 3.
That's perfectly fine for Kerry because he got the last climax he wants back, so the 7 going back to his deck.
Yeah.
That is still a positive on his end because he's still got 2 the card he needs it. Granted, they might not be as hopeful as you would like them to be, but they are still card he can play.
I reckon it's good that it's Zariki that he got out as well, because you can always just clock 1 from the waiting room, search out the 0/0 Himeno, and then search for the level 3 power. It's the long game for Kerry right now.
Yes and no, because I think he's just trying to push Lamb now to level 3 so that there'll be more pressure. So there was a bit of a scuffle there with how the shuffling works, so now Kerry has to reshuffle his deck again. Because he accidentally revealed the level 3 power, which Mr. Lamb says that, I want to cut, you haven't offered me to cut yet. Slightly misplay from Kerry. That's a bit unfortunate with the easy revenge into clock. But it's still better than a climax.
Yeah. Swings for 2. Oh, sides.
That's actually a very good choice from Kerry to have to side, because that basically prevent him to get memory kick and also early play anti-change.
Oh, unfortunate for Lamb. Eats all the damage that Kerry has been stuck to him.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't very surprising because the Lamb did go through a lot of his climax to basically set up his triple Muran turn combo. It was just a bit unfortunate that Kerry basically managed to generate enough attack to push again. Now this is a very bad position for Lamb to be in because he has no yellow in his level zone and his finishes actually does require yellow.
Is there a way for him to get yellow to his level, Tom?
Not normally in this build because I don't think they have room to run any card that lets him readjust level, but I think there might be one card he runs in his deck. But
we've just checked his log. It looks like he does not run the.
Oh, that is very unfortunate, Mr. Lamb, because
very
so now that means that his level 3 Benimaru does not activate at all.
This
no yellow, so Benimaru doesn't work.
Yeah, it is unfortunate indeed.
That's just all. That's just all.
Yeah. Yep. You can see the card right there.
Now, this is a very crucial card for Slime because they don't actually play a level 3 finishing combo, so they heavily rely on the Benimaru and the Shion and the on Lamb's grabbing back the Milim to finish off the game. Now, even though Kerry got ahead of Mr. Lamb in terms of damage, he's still not out of the wood yet because he's still at 2-5. So Mr. Lamb only needs to stick 9 points of damage, which is not impossible to do. It is a bit hard, but it is not impossible.
Alright.
That's fine.
So, Kerry does have about 20 cards right now, both on board and in his hand. So the odds of Mr. Lamb sticking 9 points of damage is low, but not impossible.
It is not, but right now I think Mr. Lamb's trying to refresh his deck to make sure that he can possibly live another turn if this turn does not work out the way he wants it to be. However, he did grab the Milim with the Rimuru before reshuffling, so he does have answers to Kerry right now. And you can see he's playing the Milim to reveal top. Oh, that's very unlucky.
It's been a common theme that we've seen all these combos when they resolve, and it just whips.
However, right now Kerry does give Lamb a character to reverse with Milim.
Yep.
So the Milim will be clock kicking the
Early play Aki.
the early play Aki to Kerry's clock. So Kerry will have to be very careful about the scenario.
Yep. It is quite the predicament. It is quite the predicament that Lamb has found himself in.
Right now, Lamb's just trying to dig.
Hits one on the search brainstorm.
Yes. I don't think Lamb will be searching for Mr. Benny.
He's
finding
to
Benny.
go for Benimaro. Okay.
That's a very interesting choice. I think at this stage of the game, Lamb will be using the Benimaro more as a killer than actually as an offensive card.
Yeah. There we go. Pays it out.
Yep, as we said, he just heals it. It's a bit unfortunate that the Xion is in flop, so he can't use it.
Swings 4-3. Which sticks.
Now I think Kerry has to be very careful now because he is on 3-1 and his level 6 is gone.
2. Oh, that is rough. That Aki is now trapped in his claw.
3.
Oh,
he just dodges it.
Now,
this is
Mr.
a very...
Lamb is paying 3 to kick the clock.
Yeah. Alright, now I think Kerry has... Luckily Kerry's on 3-5, so he allows him the clock to find answers for his board. And now, I think...
Yeah.
Now the problem is, like, Kerry has to be careful now because if he cycles through his entire deck...
chooses the brainstorm.
Yep.
I think we all had that same look it up to top 3 2 times.
Yes.
Kerry needs to be careful now with how many cards that he chooses to look at because you don't want to make a mistake and die to penalty, to refresh damage.
Yeah. That'll be rather very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But also Kerry has to be very careful now because the Milim is actually on both players' turn. But I think Kerry is a bit safe right now because the Milim does require free stock and Landers unfortunately does not have the stock to pay for the Milim.
Paid it out for the Aki earlier as well. So if I were Kerry, I wouldn't be too worried about possibly a refresh counter or any counter of that sort. Does Line have a refresh counter?
No, it does not have one. But I think Kerry might have to be... He's in a very awkward position right now.
He is in a very awkward position indeed. Because having one of his finishers trapped so deep in his clock and unable, without a way to kind of heal it. Alright, ace 1.
I think from Kerry's perspective, he will...
Ooh.
It's a very interesting choice. I think the best case scenario for Kerry at this point in the game is basically trying to find a healer to kill back to 3-5 so he doesn't not die to the refresh penalty at this rate. Because from the look of the board scenario, I think Kerry will have to commit all his attack.
Yeah.
And hopefully finishes his turn.
It's 2 Himeno. Alright, this is going for bust for Kerry.
So now Kerry has only this turn.
Yes. Chooses not to resolve the combo, which is a good decision. Oh no.
Kerry's still in it.
Kerry has a chance.
If he triggers one more soul. He got the
he
soul.
sticks the soul trigger.
That
is it for Kerry.
Sometimes it's just the math has the luck.
Yeah, that's Kerry. Kerry clutched it at the last second. And
it was a very close game, but
it was a very, very close game between Kerry and Mr. Yeah. Wow. Gotta say, at one point the game just looked like it was Lamb's favor, when
it was a very good game because it was swung both ways, but it was just Kerry chose to do an all-in and he got lucky for it.
Yeah. And it's important to note that Chainsman runs like 20 over level 0s, which don't have soul triggers, and Kerry just triggers on the
No, but I feel like you got to bear in mind as well, Kerry did filter through his deck a lot.
He did.
Maybe he deliberately actually did try to fill out all the level zeros so that he
stopping
doesn't.
them.
Yeah.
To kind of ensure that his
ensure-
attack was going to
yes.
trigger the figure. And that is it. Wow, Kerry
Well, that's it.
eked it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Masterplay 24. Our champion is Kerry.
Kerry with Chainsaw Man.
Yep.
Still proving that it is relevant in a meta that is
Dominated by slime.
dominated by slime. Yeah. All right, we thank you for your attention. We'll see you the next time.
All right.